Welcome guys to another YouTube video. I've got a couple of the boys with me. We'll be going through every single Premier League club and naming a player who we think we should leave for whatever reason. How are we, boys? You right?
Yeah,
Shitting myself to Arsenal playing tonight, but apart from that, fantastic.
All good. Just that typical match day feeling.
Yeah, luckily it's not the Premier League though.
Yeah, true. So
Yeah,
we'll start with Bournemouth. You know, go in alphabetical order. Bran, do you want to take it away? Do you think should be the player to leave Bournemouth for whatever reason?
My instinct was Lerma, only because he would be able to fit into a majority of the bottom half midfields. But I'll preface this by saying there's not much hope for many Bournemouth players when it comes to other clubs. But mine would be Lerma for those reasons. Yeah.
Who do you reckon should leave Bournemouth if you had to choose one player?
Well, I mean, to begin with, I believe that all players that play for Bournemouth are shit. So this is quite a tough one. However, I've gone for Jadon Anthony, and that's because I've seen some links in the window for him for various clubs. He had a good season last season in the Championship. With all due respect to Bournemouth, a player simply cannot excel when playing at a club like that, and therefore I'm going to go with Jadon Anthony. I think.
That just rules out the entire Bournemouth squad in the podcast. Cheers, Chaz.
Yes. I mean, the other option would have been, like Brian said, Billing, but Billing seems to have been there since I was about 12, so he's there for a reason.
If I go to his age, where is Billing? Where does he?
Jadon Anthony, he played 21 games, only 2 goals, and one of those came in the EFL Cup or the Carabao Cup.
Billing is only 26 as well, so it just to show loyalty.
It feels like he's been there for years, but apparently he's only been there for 4 years. So, but yeah, I don't see the hype. Well, I say hype. There is no hype around any Bournemouth player, but let's generate some hype. There isn't any hype around Billing. He's about 6'9". He's fast after about 10 meters.
Where would you place Anthony? Jadon Anthony.
I think he would do potentially a good backup job at a top 10 club. You know, he can learn in a new team under a new manager, or somewhere abroad, like I don't know, Wolfsburg.
Yeah, he does scream of a Wolfsburg player.
Wolfsburg, Frankfurt,
fair enough.
Marseille.
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you what, the Nuno Tavares, Jadon Anthony link up down there would be frightening. But yeah, I don't know what he expects to do at Bournemouth. But that's my player. That's what I've gone for.
No, I think Bournemouth is a tricky one, as you say. They don't have a lot going for them, but as the panel,
that's tricky.
Yeah, but they've got about 23 new players we could choose from. So, I mean, myself, I'm going to go with you, Chaz. I'm going to go with Anthony. I think that's probably a good shout. He's got a little bit of a career ahead of him potentially if he makes a correct move and not just a yo-yo club with Bournemouth. Bran, hopefully you're not too upset with that one. As I say, Bournemouth is a difficult one.
Yeah, because there were so many to pick from.
Move on to Arsenal. Chaz, do you want to hit us as the Arsenal fan? Do I go with who you go first?
I've gone for a player that is simply not good enough. And no, it's not Cedric Suarez or Rob Holding. It is Sambi Lokonga.
Wow.
He is simply not good enough to be in a top side. Vincent Kompany came out when he was at Anderlecht and said that Sambi Lokonga was the second coming of Messi, of Iniesta, sorry. And that's just not true. He's lazy. He's a donkey. No, he can go. He can go to somewhere like Bournemouth.
Wow.
Marseille came in and they offered 8 million for him. So, I mean,
what'd you buy him for? Because that was a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
No idea. Not a clue. Not that much. But 8 million in today's market is like
peanuts.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
So that's my player. I decided to not go for the players that are clearly on their way out or whatever. So I've gone with Sambi Lokonga.
Fair enough, Bran.
Shit.
Rob Holding. It was either him or Cedric, but Cedric appears to be on his way out already, so Arsenal fans can tick that off their list. Rob Holding, he doesn't really do too much anymore. He was a pivotal point in your turnaround a few seasons ago, but that's about it. No, I think Arsenal have progressed up now to where players like Rob Holding, and that can be free to go and live out their retirement in a nice little cottage somewhere.
Yes,
probably
I
down
do
by
agree.
the seaside, somewhere like Bournemouth.
Yeah, I do agree. However, Rob Holding makes a cameo once every 3 or 4 games where Arteta brings him on for the last 4 minutes or the last 10 minutes to go 5 at the back. He sits in between Saliba and Gabriel. He wins every ball in the air. He's standing my team.
Well,
he deserves a Premier League medal.
He gets to
Simple as
start
that.
tonight, doesn't he? So
He gets to start tonight.
in the FA
When was
Cup.
the last time he started in anything where it was remotely competitive? Because I could have
Probably when
swore
Arsene Wenger was manager.
no, he took a little South Korean's jaw out with his shoulder the last time I watched him start.
It's true. He got sent off.
Yeah. And which single-handedly made you lose top 4.
No,
so
we couldn't beat a fucking shit Newcastle.
Well, 2-0. Hold that.
Well,
Rob Holding for me.
Yeah, we went with Chaz last time. I'm on the Rob Holding bandwagon. How he's Rob delivered. I just got his profile up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is his 7th season at Arsenal. I don't know how he's done it, but he's done it. So I'm gonna put in Holding there. But Sambi, like the thing is, if you get rid of Sambi, who's your then backup for? Because he's like a DM, right?
Oh, they gotta be wrapping party and bubble wrap, mate.
In 2 days it'll be Caicedo, and then in 6 months it'll be Rice. So it doesn't really matter, mate.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Just splashing cash.
Right, moving on. Aston Villa.
And quickly, there is no replacement for Partey. Best DM in the league. Moving on.
Okay, let's move on quick. Aston Villa. Bran, go on.
This one was a little bit tougher for me because I know who Chaz thinks, and mine would be Douglas Luiz. I think a lot of Premier League clubs right now, especially towards the top half, are screaming for 6s and 8s who are remotely consistent. Not just players that can control a game like Partey, Casemiro, not players like that, but just consistent discipline in performances, and that will gradually progress. So mine would be Luiz.
Okay.
Chaz?
Okay. Luiz had the chance to go, but he decided to stay at Villa for pussy, and that's basically it.
Well, he's got. Listen, have you seen his misses?
Exactly. I've gone for a player that I think is too good, which is Jacob Ramsey. I think he's far too good for Villa. I think when you look at him, let's say I'm going to compare him to Mason Mount. Not as much experience, however, he's faster than Mount. I feel like he's more tenacious than Mount. He's a better ball striker than Mount. He can tackle better than Mount. I think he's a better round player. I think you could take him to a top one of the big 5. So either Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, and then I think he would do well there.
I'm not even gonna ponder Jacob Ramsey. I think he's a really good player. I think, as you say, a top 5, maybe even top 8 club potentially. He could definitely work his way into. So yeah, I'm not gonna ponder that's Jacob Ramsey all day long for me.
And if people want to question why I say big 5, not big 6, is because the big 6 is a farce, and Spurs don't belong in the big 6 with the current clubs.
Too fucking right.
Are Liverpool still there and Chelsea?
Yes, they are. Based on history.
Tottenham's history where? Brentford.
Exactly.
Chaz, Brentford.
I think this one's very easy.
I hope so.
Ivan Toney?
Tony. Yeah.
You can just put him straight in, Cal. Not much more to be said because, as his lawyers say, no comment until trial date. But no, he's proven to be too fluid of a goal scorer and playmaker now to not be like fought after. Like, I don't know why. I mean, fucking hell. Like, United had a chance to go in for him. Obviously didn't. Now he's got the big wout. But yeah, he will be gone in the summer.
Yeah.
Or so he should, depending on how long he gets.
He's 26 now, if I'm not mistaken. 26, 27. I think
so
it's around that.
Not even hit his prime yet.
No. So
I've said it in previous podcasts and watch along. He's the closest thing to Harry Kane we have in this country.
100%.
So I think he should be going elsewhere.
Nice, good, easy decision. Bran, Brighton. I think this is a little bit of a tough one, to be fair. I think there's a couple players you could choose from for various reasons.
About 4 or 5, but it's got to be Caicedo, in it.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, there is a toss-up, right? Because if I'm going off what we saw of what we've seen of the players in Brighton team from multiple seasons now, and obviously Brighton are a team in form at the moment, so there is a handful of players that probably deserve a move or will go on to deserve a move if they continue their form. But mine would be Caicedo, obvious reasons for his attribute wise, but again, a lot of these clubs that are wanting to progress into that top 6 fight now on a consistent basis are screaming for more midfield players, and he brings that to any team that he plays in, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the point, Cal, where you slap you've got our faces here, and then you can get a YouTube video and slap it there and there and there. With, welcome to Arsenal, Caicedo. Because I agree. United could have signed him 2 years ago for 5 million, but they didn't. He went to Brighton. He's been good player. I don't think he's a number. I don't think he would be deployed as number 6 if he comes to Arsenal. Because he's not like your traditional number 6 like Rodri, Declan Rice, Casemiro. He's a bit smaller. He's more like a Kante, I guess, who was obviously a 6 as well. But I mean, if you slotted him into a Man City or a West Ham or an Arsenal, I feel like he's got quite a good He's quite small, fast, low centre of gravity. I feel like he could do a job in like an 8 or something.
Quite a good technical ability
I was
as well.
Gonna say, he's a proper break up the play and then start the transition. So Caicedo for me, it's pretty straightforward.
Well, yeah, because Arsenal and Chelsea have both put in bids and believe both rejected today. So Friday 27th, I believe. So it'd be interesting to see if he goes in.
The second bid, apparently.
Oh, really? It'd be interesting to see if he does go in the January.
Apparently, he's now Arsenal's number 1 target for this window.
After you lost out Mudryk.
Yes,
to the next team, Chelsea. Go on, Chaz.
I've gone for a player that's not good enough, and I don't think he was good enough. I've gone for Cucurella.
Okay.
Don't think he's good enough. Not for a top side. Not a chance.
Fair enough.
I could have gone with Mason Mount, but I've gone with Cucurella because I just don't see it with him. I really don't. On top of that, his hair pisses me off.
I've gone for one only because this season he has proven to be a weak link. And don't get me wrong, with Chelsea's injuries and the way that they're playing, there are a few. Chalobah.
Okay.
I feel like. Pardon?
He's dog shit.
I think when Thiago Silva, how old is he? 37, 36, 37, 38, 38. And if you can put a 38-year-old in the centre of a back 5, even though there is back 5 tax, and he is your standout player game in, game out, there is something drastically fucking wrong with who he's playing with. And Chalobah seems to be a very, very weak link in that very defensively set up to be sound Chelsea side.
I'm very surprised neither of you have gone with Aubameyang.
I mean, I don't like first 11 kind of thing.
So mine was Chalobah, Jorginho, or Ziyech.
I think there are maybe 7 or 8 players in the Chelsea team that play every other week that aren't good enough to be in the team. When you talk about Chelsea, you think about Lampard, Drogba,
JT,
that team and how good they were. And you look at them now, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Aubameyang, in my opinion, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Chalobah, Jorginho, who's done well for Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, they're just not good enough.
Yeah,
I think there's loads of players you could have for Chelsea.
Yeah, true. I myself, I'm going to go with Chalobah there because I don't know why, but I've got a bit of a liking for Cucurella. But again, he could throw that in my face. but we'll move on to Crystal Palace. A couple of youngsters in the team, as well as a couple of players have just been there for fucking
tough.
years. So.
This was my hardest one. But I've gone with Elise.
Yeah.
Only because I see more potential in him if he was under. Now, hands down, Vieira, unreal player, right? Throughout his time. Obviously, not been in management long enough for us to fully get a good judgment on him. But I see more potential for Elise as an overall footballer through longevity if he was under someone like Arteta, Pep, Klopp, someone like that. If he was higher up in a more functional system.
Ignore him.
I think putting Arteta with them two. Oh, the boys kind of round.
You kind of go because
got Super Mick.
You send us death threats if we don't. So, but yeah, Elise for me, there is a handful. Eze's another one where there's scope there on him. Obviously Zaha, he could have moved about 4 seasons ago, and for whatever reason, just everything's fell through, or he didn't go through with it. Guehi as well, or Guehi, however you pronounce it. Another one.
Yeah. Chaz, who are you putting in there?
I couldn't read the sides. I went with 2.
Not just make enough. Up your fucking rules, mate.
Yeah, not good enough. Jordan Ayew, honking, awful, shocking. It's as simple as that. You got an attack on Eze, Elise, Zaha, and then you put Jordan Ayew in the middle. Who is, it's awful. It's like lining up for a drag race: Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, McLaren, Renault Clio. It just doesn't make sense. And then I've got I've strayed away a bit from the rules, but I've got like a what if, which is Zaha, who, like you said, could have gone 4 years ago or 3 years ago. We could have gone last season as well. Yeah, I don't feel like he's probably ever has or ever will reach what he could have potentially had.
Yeah. Well, you had like 2 signings to United, didn't he? And then went straight back to Palace. So yeah, Zaha's always that kind of what if you've got the time, if you've got the correct manager, blah blah. But myself, I'm going to go Jordan Ayew. I couldn't agree more. What a horrific player! What a horrendous player!
Dreadful. Is that the second coming of Yaya Sanogo?
Apologies to all Palace fans, but I don't regret it. Everton, Chaz. Okay, take your pick.
Yeah, it is very much take your pick. However, I am thinking about Everton right now and what they need. Firstly, they have Neil Maupay, who the less said about him, the better. He's worse than Jordan Ayew. He's shocking. But I've actually gone for the man that's made of glass, which is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I believe he should go, not because he's too good or because he's bad, just because it seems like Everton get like a glimmer of hope that he'll be back next week, and then he gets injured again. And I was actually listening to TalkSport today, shout out TalkSport, where a 42-year-old man called up and said that he's 42 years of age, he is extremely overweight, doesn't move around a lot, and would still put in a better, more consistent shift over the season than Calvert-Lewin, purely based on the fact that he's made of glass.
Yeah.
So I've gone with Calvert-Lewin.
Okay, Bran?
Mine's on the other side of that. Onana. He looks not a top player, but, you know, the best of a bad bunch in that Everton side. On the other side of that, I think of people like, is that Davies still there? That Tom Davies?
Yep.
He needs to fuck off.
Well, half the team really did. They're just nowhere near good enough.
They're such an aging squad, and their recruitment has got it so wrong, with like trickling the aging players out at a time instead of trying to do it all in like 2 or 3 windows. Seamus Coleman shouldn't really be playing in the Premier League anymore, if we're being honest. Yeah. Tom Davies, he's all right for a little fucking tear up at Anfield every now and again. Onana needs to go because he's actually too good for that squad.
I couldn't agree more. Onana I think he's got the qualities of a really top player. Easily get into a top half team, maybe even scrape into a top 6 team. in my opinion, because I think he's still young as well. But yeah, I'll go.
He's definitely a great top 6 rotational prospect.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. Fulham, I forgot who did the Everton. I think it was Chaz.
The same.
So
we both got the same for them.
Who have you got for Fulham?
Palhinha.
I assume too good.
Yeah, he's really good, and I can't see. I mean, Fulham have played really well, but I can't see their form continuing over the long run. There was a couple of other mentions that I had. That Ream, the American defender, he's been really good this season. But if we're going off of impact made versus longevity versus everything, Palhinha takes it. He's come in and done an unreal job for a team climbing up the table.
Perfect. Leeds, Chaz, you got for Leeds?
I'm going with a player that isn't.
Have we got the same one?
Isn't so, I don't know. Isn't so bad that they shouldn't be in there, and isn't too good to be there. But a player that I would like to see go elsewhere that isn't just fucking Leeds, which is obviously that Nonto bloke.
Yeah, mine would be Nonto. From what he's shown, he's the left winger.
Yeah.
From what he's shown, really good on the ball, hard worker.
Yeah, and, proper workhorse.
Decent finisher as well. Yeah. Not afraid to take someone on one-on-one. Can't really ask more out of your winger.
No, definitely.
So Nonto for me.
Perfect. Nice and easy. Leicester.
I think this one's even easier.
Yeah.
Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say anything about it. He should be at a better club. He should be playing Champions League football. Come to Arsenal.
Well, Newcastle were flirting with him, weren't they? So, but they might have missed that one.
We not only were we flirting, we did draw the Snapchat and get the second base. So
yeah, true.
But you signed Anthony Gordon instead.
Yes, we have got Claire Baldwin. Can't wait for Wimbledon. Come on.
Bran, Liverpool. Who'd you have leaving Liverpool?
Oh, now I was dead set on saying Millie Boy, right? Just for age, and again, Liverpool are going through the same thing. And then I thought, actually, they've got a couple of fucking absolute honkers that are still there and that, haven't they? So, if it was possible for them to get a replacement, mine would be Shimikas.
Okay. Chaz?
I just don't think for where Liverpool were competing for top 2 for the past 3 seasons, Shimikas would be consistent enough.
I've got a player that isn't good enough. That was on a trajectory. What's the word?
Positive
on the road.
Trajectory? Yeah.
On the trajectory, yeah, whatever that word is, to be a potential really good player. But I don't really know if he's a winger or a midfielder. Harvey Elliott. He's not good enough. Simple as that. You look at the young players coming through right now, and he's doo-doo.
He's just not there, in my opinion. He's just not quite there.
I don't know what player he is. I can't tell. He's not fast enough to be a winger. He's not physical enough to be a midfielder. He can't pass well enough to be a midfielder. He's not skillful enough.
If I'm going to be as unbiased as I can be, I genuinely believe that leg break he had last season, I think it was, because before that he looked quick, he looked like sharp. He looked like a proper little player. Again, he probably had something to prove there as well. But then he had his leg broke. I think it was his leg break. And
Leeds,
doesn't look half the player. Again, I don't think half of this Liverpool team look like half the team they used to be. Yeah. But anyway, that is just where they are at the minute. City. Now this, I know we had a little bit of a conversation before. Bran, did you come up with a player in the end?
Scott Carson. Lovely to have around. Make him staff. Give him a staff role or something. Like, there wasn't. I mean, I can't pick one. I can't. It's nobody difficult. Should really leave because they all get a lot of game time with the rotation philosophy that Pep has. One that I'm thinking of that maybe deserves a little bit more, maybe Cole Palmer. But then again, you're just going to be leaving for a worse team to get more minutes. Gundogan maybe at a push, but then again, teams are screaming out for more midfielders. So mine would be Scott Carson, but if we're being serious, Cole Palmer.
Okay, not bad. Chaz?
Calvin Phillips. Got signed, was injured, came back from the World Cup. His manager did not be fit enough. Doesn't sit right with me. He can fuck off.
Where would you put him? Would you put him in another top 6 side or?
You can go do a job for Fulham or something.
Top 5 side? No.
Yeah,
Top 6 side, maybe.
I'll take him, mate. I'll take him at United.
You're Casemiro.
Yeah, but like backup in that. I am going to
No.
put Phillips just because, as you say, he just hasn't been given the time, the minutes, the.
Yeah, he ain't replacing Rodri. Let's put it
No,
that way.
no, not anytime soon.
When Rodri's on his last legs, they'll get someone new, and they won't be playing Phillips there.
No, true. That is, I agree. I don't know, just Bran started that. So Chaz, Newcastle. No, not Newcastle. That's next. Man United.
Not good enough. Flop. Anthony.
Oh, Bran.
No, I've actually gone with Maguire. Useless.
Okay, Maguire.
Mine was between Maguire and McMuffin, with a little hint of Jaden Spice in there.
No, no Alanga, please.
No, Alanga. He's up and coming. He's a project.
He's your star boy.
He is your star boy. No,
unless you're one of those United fans
Maguire,
that thinks the 27-year-old is a star boy.
Maguire or McMuffin. I think they could both do a job for like Burnley or something when they come up.
Yeah, true. Well, West Ham are interested in Maguire apparently, but anyway, Newcastle, Bran.
He's going to say Sean Longstaff.
No.
I think I
was thinking about this. I think it should be Javi Manquillo.
Oh, that's not who I had you down as.
No, who did you have me down as?
Jacob Murphy.
No, I love him.
Oh,
I love him.
I
love him. That little wave he done was perfect.
Chaz, who do you have leaving Newcastle?
Player that's too good, Bruno.
Oh, interesting.
I can deal with that. Yeah.
He could play. He could play for Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. He would probably get into Barcelona, not Real Madrid, but he could play for any of the. He could play for near enough any club in the world, in my opinion.
Wow, that's quite a statement. I'm going to go with I can't say his name, so I'll let Bran say it again because he's just horrendous, isn't he? I do quite enjoy Bruno at Newcastle. I like the passion. I don't know what he brings, but he's just totally transformed that Newcastle team than just a midfield. But anyway, as we reach the final few teams, Nottingham Forest pretty much just bought a brand new 23-man squad. But Chaz, who do you have leaving Forest?
I'm only saying this bloke because to go from Atletico Madrid to Nottingham Forest, there must be some kind of fraud or money laundering scheme going on. So Renan Lodi for me. He doesn't look great for Forest, but he looked great for Atletico Madrid. So I don't know what's happened there. They must have sent like a clone from Wish or something.
He got replaced by Reguilon from Spurs. He went back to Atletico.
I think Lodi went for money, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Bran, who do you have for the Forest?
Brennan Johnson.
Too good.
I think he's one of the better players in the squad. And again, I'd like to see him under another manager that has some sort of progressive traits. Okay. But obviously, we don't couldn't really think of much on Forest because they're all extremely new to the Premier League again. So
I think Brennan Johnson's potentially the most stereotypical Championship footballer you ever lay eyes on.
Yeah, but he's 20, 21, I believe. I think he's got a really good future ahead of him personally. He's just he's just about to turn 22 in a couple of months. But I'm gonna go with Lodi because that fall from grace from a Spanish giant to a newly promoted Forest just is strange. But just to make my point, I am a big fan of Morgan Gibbs-White. I know he got signed for stupid money. But in his probably last 5 or so games, I think he's played really well. I quite like him. I think
the Morgan Gibbs-White, I would have said him for good reasoning if he started out better.
Yeah, definitely.
I know that's pretty hard because you've just made a huge move for huge money. First one, you're very young, but he did not show anything of even a £10 million player when he first played. So there is a few for Forest if we go on past 5-game form. But Lodi, I'm happy with.
Yeah, we'll go with Lodi for now. Southampton, Bran.
Lavia.
Yeah. Should Rodri replacement, by the way. Don't know why.
I think
ludicrous,
I think
innit?
Southampton are one of those. Would you rather step in cow shit or dog shit? But if you sift through it enough, you'll be able to find a little gem. James Ward-Prowse, I used to rate him on ability on the ball, and obviously his set pieces are second to none. So honourable mention, but mine would be Lavia or Bella
Chaz?
Kocha.
Yeah, I was going to say one of those two.
Lavia as well.
Lavia, yeah. I think it's like so little money that CLM. I think it's like 5 million, if I remember correctly. That could be wrong. But
you know what? It just goes back to the Southampton recruitment has always been.
It's the coast, Brighton, Southampton, fantastic recruitment. They just Brighton are right now, but Southampton just suck.
Just a shame it breeds some pussy-holes like you.
Tottenham. Go on, Chaz.
I've got a too good and a not good enough.
Go on.
Too good, obviously, Harry Kane.
Yeah.
World-class player. Not a world-class team. Shouldn't be there, period. Not good enough. Richarlison.
Okay. Fair enough.
You signed an average striker from Everton.
Yeah.
It's done fuck all. It cost you over half. It cost you £60 million. Saka's shite.
And the rest. Bran, who have you gone for?
Same as Chaz for the too good Harry Kane. He does it. He just deserves so much more for his output, especially over the years. Like proven loyalty again and again when it gets questioned again and again, and other clubs come in for you and question and test it. His output every season has been second to none when you go on a 10-year period. On the other hand, there was another one. Emerson Royale obviously needs to go. He is honestly, it's like someone sparking up a cigarette next to a jerry can full of kerosene or something. Like he's just dangerous to anything he goes near. My other one, if I was looking past the obvious, Ben Davies.
Yeah, he's probably past his time, really, isn't he?
I just think like for what Conte says that he wants Tottenham to become, you will not see that player anywhere near the bench.
100%. No, so, definitely.
Harry Kane to go for.
It's probably obvious, isn't he? He's at that point in his career. It's probably his last chance to really either sign a new contract or get the move. So it really is a pivotal point in his career, I think. But last two teams go the penultimate West Ham. Bran, who do you have as West Ham to leave for various reasons?
And if this is
coming to me, baby.
Yeah, Declan Rice, he's got to go.
Declan Rice. Yeah.
Again, just too good for that side. He's proved it on an international stage now as well.
Twice.
He's been very, very fucking consistent.
I just want to say, I don't know who I saw say it, but someone's tipped him to be the future England captain.
He will be, yeah.
It's either him or Jude.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think Rice will probably be first in line. I think personally.
I've just watched Haaland lick his lips, mate. He's looking at Haaland, he's licking his lips.
Right.
So good.
Last team, Wolves. Chaz, who have you got?
I've actually gone for their left back, Ait Nouri. I love him. I think he's class.
What a player.
And I hope he goes to a better team and does a job somewhere. I really like him.
Bran?
I'm going to go with the cliche Ruben Neves.
Okay.
I was going to have him.
Purely because, once again, there probably are better players right now in current form in that Wolves squad. But again, when you look at the calamity Premier League teams are facing when it comes to their midfield, again, he could slot into a lot of decent clubs and improve them. So, Ruben Neves for me.
Okay. Well, I'll go with Ruben Neves, not Nunes, Neves, just because Chaz quite like the idea as well. I think that Ait Nouri and also Matthias Nunes, I think they're both cracking players. I think it's only a matter of time till probably all three. Maybe not Neves. He's probably, I don't know what his contract's saying, but especially Ait Nouri and
his contract's
Nunes.
going to be saying a lot less zeros on the end of it if they carry on their path, right? Let me tell you.
Well, thank you very much, boys, for joining me. That's all 20 players who we think we should be leaving for various reasons. Obviously no Premier League this week, so pumping out the YouTube content I think there's a mid-season review or mid-season team of the year from some of the boys will be
that's
doing
coming
over the
out.
weekend. So look out for that. Again, follow all our socials. They'll be in the description. And we will see you next time.
What the fucking
Peace.